It is generally not appropriate to wire bathroom and kitchen circuits exclusively through arc fault circuit interrupters, often referred to as AFCIs, instead of ground fault circuit interrupters, known as GFCIs. This is because GFCIs are specifically required in these areas by electrical codes to provide enhanced safety against electrical shock hazards. Let's delve into the distinctions between AFCIs and GFCIs, their functionalities, and why GFCIs are the preferred choice for bathrooms and kitchens. Firstly, let's discuss ground fault circuit interrupters. A GFCI is a crucial safety device designed to protect individuals from electrical shock. It operates by monitoring the current flowing in the hot and neutral conductors of a circuit. Under normal circumstances, the current flowing through the hot wire should be equal to the current returning through the neutral wire. However, if a ground fault occurs, which means that some of the current is leaking to ground, such as through a person touching a live wire or a faulty appliance, the GFCI detects this imbalance. Even a small current leakage, typically in the range of 4 to 6 mA, is sufficient to trigger the GFCI. When this imbalance is detected, the GFCI trips, interrupting the circuit very quickly, usually within a fraction of a second, thereby preventing a potentially fatal electrical shock. Secondly, let's explore the applications of GFCIs. The National Electrical Code, or NEC, mandates the use of GFCIs in several areas, particularly those prone to moisture or where electrical equipment may come into contact with water. These areas commonly include bathrooms, kitchens, outdoors, garages, and unfinished basements. In bathrooms, GFCIs are required for all receptacles serving the countertop areas. This is because of the presence of water sources like sinks and showers, which increases the risk of electrical shock. In kitchens, GFCIs are essential for receptacles serving countertop areas, as well as those near sinks or dishwashers. Outdoor receptacles, such as those used for garden tools or holiday lighting, also need GFCI protection. The NEC specifies these requirements to ensure the safety of individuals using electrical appliances and equipment in these locations. Thirdly, let's move on to arc fault circuit interrupters. An AFCI, on the other hand, is designed to prevent electrical fires caused by arcing faults. An arcing fault occurs when electricity jumps or arcs between conductors, often due to damaged or deteriorated wiring, loose connections, or faulty appliances. These arcs generate intense heat, which can ignite flammable materials nearby, such as wood, paper, or insulation, leading to a fire. An AFCI monitors the electrical current for characteristics indicative of arcing faults. It looks for unusual patterns or fluctuations in the current that are different from normal operating conditions. When an arcing fault is detected, the AFCI trips, cutting off the power to the circuit and preventing a fire from starting. Fourthly, let's dive into the applications of AFCIs. The NEC has expanded the requirements for AFCI protection over the years to include more areas of a home. Typically, AFCIs are required for most branch circuits that supply power to living areas such as bedrooms, living rooms, dining rooms, and family rooms. The goal is to reduce the risk of electrical fires caused by arcing faults in these areas. While AFCIs provide valuable protection against fires, they do not protect against electrical shock in the same way that GFCIs do. Fifthly, let's compare and contrast the differences between AFCIs and GFCIs. The key difference between AFCIs and GFCIs lies in what they protect against. AFCIs protect against fires caused by arcing faults, while GFCIs protect against electrical shock caused by ground faults. They also operate based on different principles. AFCIs detect unusual current patterns indicative of arcing, while GFCIs detect imbalances in the current flowing through the hot and neutral conductors. Moreover, the NEC has different requirements for the locations where AFCIs and GFCIs are required. GFCIs are mandated in areas prone to moisture, while AFCIs are typically required in living areas. Sixthly, it's essential to understand why GFCIs are required in bathrooms and kitchens. The presence of water and moisture in bathrooms and kitchens significantly increases the risk of electrical shock. Water is an excellent conductor of electricity, and even a small amount of moisture can create a pathway for current to flow through a person's body if they come into contact with a live wire or a faulty appliance. GFCIs provide a critical layer of protection by quickly interrupting the circuit when a ground fault is detected, preventing a potentially fatal shock. AFCIs, while valuable for preventing fires, do not offer the same level of protection against electrical shock. Therefore, they are not a substitute for GFCIs in bathrooms and kitchens. Seventhly, let's consider the possibility of using both AFCI and GFCI protection. In some cases, it may be desirable or even required to use both AFCI and GFCI protection on the same circuit. This provides comprehensive protection against both electrical fires and electrical shock. Combination of AFCI/GFCI circuit breakers are available, which combine the functions of both devices into a single unit. These breakers can be installed in the electrical panel and provide both arc fault and ground fault protection for the circuit. The NEC may require or recommend the use of combination of AFCI/GFCI breakers in certain situations, depending on the specific application and local codes. Eighthly, let's discuss the installation considerations. When installing GFCIs or AFCIs, it's crucial to follow the manufacturer's instructions and all applicable electrical codes. GFCIs are typically installed in place of standard receptacles or as circuit breakers in the electrical panel. AFCIs are usually installed as circuit breakers in the electrical panel. It's important to ensure that the wiring is properly connected and that the devices are tested after installation to verify that they are functioning correctly. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the installation. Ninthly, let's talk about testing and maintenance. GFCIs should be tested regularly, typically once a month, to ensure that they are functioning properly. This can be done by pressing the test button on the GFCI receptacle or circuit breaker. If the GFCI trips, it's working correctly. If it doesn't trip, it may need to be replaced. AFCIs should also be tested periodically to verify their functionality. Some AFCIs have a self-testing feature that automatically checks the device's operation. If an AFCI fails the self-test, it should be replaced. Regular testing and maintenance of GFCIs and AFCIs are essential for ensuring their continued effectiveness in protecting against electrical hazards. Tenthly, let's focus on the code compliance aspect. Electrical codes, such as the NEC, are developed and updated regularly to reflect the latest safety standards and best practices. It's important to be aware of the current electrical codes in your area and to ensure that your electrical wiring and devices are compliant. Local building codes may have additional requirements or amendments to the NEC. Consulting with a qualified electrician or electrical inspector can help ensure that your electrical system meets all applicable codes and regulations. In summary, while AFCIs are valuable for preventing electrical fires, they are not a substitute for GFCIs in bathrooms and kitchens. GFCIs are specifically designed to protect against electrical shock, which is a significant hazard in areas with water and moisture. The NEC mandates the use of GFCIs in these locations to ensure the safety of individuals using electrical appliances and equipment. In some cases, it may be desirable or required to use both AFCI and GFCI protection on the same circuit to provide comprehensive protection against both electrical fires and electrical shock. Always follow the manufacturer's instructions and applicable electrical codes when installing or maintaining GFCIs and AFCIs. If you're not comfortable working with electricity, it's best to hire a qualified electrician to perform the work.